welcome into my channel. I'm Charmaine and the channel is called Judgment Day. This channel is interested in understanding about balance because that's what Judgment Day is all about. A balance in energies between right and wrong, good and bad, and of course we're going to be looking at the energies of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, known as the energies of yin and yang. How have they come into balance in relationship to the chi energy, the main force of energy that runs through all life, also known as prana, or love, as I like to think of it. Love or God, coming into alignment. What's going on for our yin energies, what's going on for our yang energies, and what's happening for today, Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. For this Thursday, okay, just a bit centering. So I'm going to start with some advice from the Oracle. I'm going to use Denise Linn's Sacred Traveler Oracle cards and see where we are on Thursday, this Thursday, March 3rd. So essentially, right, like what is the focus for balance, right? What do we need to focus on in the current moment in trying to bring together these masculine and feminine energies, our yin and our yang? And that this oracle advice will give us some direction as to how we might step into greater balance in those energies. Okay. Wise leader. You are a beacon for others. Certainly a call to stepping into position of leadership. So I'm going to go ahead and read from here. Wise transformation. Read the card description. And I think it's helpful, and I'll probably read from a few of these cards, these oracle cards, to kind of think about how we might apply this energy today. So remember, you are a beacon for others, right? And just to kind of get started is to think about, sometimes I know people oftentimes feel like they have no power, right? Like, what can I do? The world is the way it is. I'm just one person. And I have spent a lot of my life teaching people and teaching people about social problems and about life. And there's oftentimes a sense of hopelessness, like, oh, the problems are bigger than I am. And it's just absolutely not true. And I think oftentimes we think like, oh, in order to be a leader, I have to be like the people I see on television. And that's not true. We can be leaders in our own homes, in our relationships, in our neighborhoods and communities. Like, how do we help others? How do we step up into our gifts, our power? How do we shine our light? As you can see here, this person, this is a woman who is standing tall. I suspect we're needing more women in leadership, or more, I should rather say, yin-based leadership, right? So using more of our feminine energies, our more introverted, feeling energies in leadership, right? So wise leader is coming from a place of that internal feminine, or that yin energy, needing to see that in our leadership so that we can do more collective, caring, nurturing kind of leadership. So the card meaning, you are a leader. You carry a wisdom and radiance that inspires others. Even if you're not always aware of the depths of this wisdom within you, it's emerging by leaps and bounds. This is a time to step into your power and take a role of leadership. This is exactly what I'm saying. So if you're watching this video, if you found this channel, this is your call to action. Okay, if you've been waiting for it, whatever, your whole life you've been waiting for it, the time is now. That's why I called the channel Judgment Day, because we're there. It's time. Whatever you were born to do, whatever you've been waiting for, that moment, this is that moment. This is your time. You're ready. Grab the reins. Make a decision. It's okay. You're not 100% sure. Myself included half the time. Make decisions anyways. It's what a leader does. Okay? I think that's really important because we think leaders have all of the answers. I think we should know that they don't. If we've looked at a lot of the people who have been in leadership positions in the last, century. No, they don't. And if you think I'm being fluffy, go read your history. Okay? And we're constantly in situations that are novel and new. And if you think this moment in time is a repeat of anything we've ever seen, think again. So, no one is better positioned than you to do your mission. Continuing on with this card. On the journey, it's easy to tell who the leaders are. How do we know who leaders are? Once you're being called into leadership, change the page. They have an inner grace and strength that glows within. Okay. This is so true, right? Leadership isn't title. Leadership isn't position. So if you sit there and say, well, I don't have the power, that's nonsense. If you've got a light that glows in you, you have the power. Leadership is not a title. We know that because there's plenty of people with titles. They are not leaders. They are self-serving, but not leaders. A leader has nothing to do with title. And there are plenty of people without titles who make you take a knee and stand in awe every day in our lives. Do not let titles define who is and who isn't a leader. Others travel on the pathway that leaders have created. This is important because people are waiting for you to step up and stand in your truth, to be there for those who are waiting for you. The wise leader holds up a flame as a torch for others in the darkest night, but the leader also listens to the beat of their own drum. Right? So this is not about doing what's always been done. It's not about going cuckoo, right? You certainly learn from the past. Hopefully we can learn from the past, lest we be doomed to repeat it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean being stuck on what has been done, because we certainly know as well, equally, where we are is not the best we can be. In fact, we're seeing some of the worst we can be. So it's time to do things different. It's time for some new leadership, some new life that lives in you. Grab the reins of life on your terms. Don't live to please and appease others to the detriment of your own needs. This is not what a leader does. Live without regrets. That last bit is good, right? What would you do if you knew you had a year to live? You had 5 years to live. You had 1 month to live. What in your life are you doing now? Like 1 minute in some position you don't want to be is 1 minute too long, right? Life is too precious. I think the point of this card is the time is now. We keep waiting for someday. Someday's now. Wise leader. Okay? All right. So how is this going to play into what's going on with our masculine and our feminine energies? Let's have a look. See. But that is what the chi it's calling forth. Feminine, yin energy in leadership. It's calling forth new leadership. It's calling for all of the sleeping giants. Wakey, wakey. Judgment Day is here. Wakey, wakey. It's time. The time is now. Whatever you've been waiting your whole life for, this is it. This is that moment. Wakey, wakey. Alrighty. I'm bouncing the camera and everything. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go look at those energies, starting with the yang energy, then the yin. I'm going to lay the yang out on this side and the yin on this side. I'm using two different decks. One deck to see what's gone on in the recent past, and then where we are in the current energies. And then I'm going to clarify. So this is a great deck. Souls on Fire Tarot. Souls on Fire Tarot deck. You can get that at soulfulrevolution.com. A wonderful spiritual teacher, Mary Jo, who I learned a lot of information as I received my calling to come and do this work. I learned a lot from her, but I really love this deck because it has people of light skin and dark skin images in it, and so I like the multicultural aspect or the multiracial aspect of it. I squint like that because I have a PhD in sociology, and we know that race is not real, and yet real in its consequences, right? So I'm not going to give you a sociology lesson today. Anyways, maybe not. On gender, could we have one? On leadership, on power and ideology. Anyways, let's see what's going on with the yin energy, spirit. I'm sorry, the yang. We're going to start with the yang, or the masculine, the divine masculine. You hear me refer to all of them. So what's gone on in the recent past, spirit? What's going on with the recent past with our yang energy for today? All right. We've got the Temperance card in the recent past. A need to balance. This seems very much in alignment with what, so I would just say right at the outset, it seems very much to me that the yang energy, the masculine, has gotten the wake-up call. That things are out of balance, looking for ways to bring into balance. I often see Temperance as bringing in the spiritual to the earthly plane. This angel dipping their toe in the water. We've got this balancing of well, in this case, it's a balancing of cups, balancing of emotions. Definitely something, right? Needing more yin energy in our leadership. All right, in that present moment, I think Spirit was just tired of me talking, so get the card out already. The Fool. All right, so 2 major arcana cards, right? Taking that leap of faith. Okay, I'm going to do something new. Our yang energy says, I'm going to do something new and take that leap of faith. I'm going to get into balance. And by getting into balance is doing new, right? That wise leader, bringing in our yin energy, deciding that, I've been sitting on the sideline. I've been participating in toxic masculinity for like way too long. And okay, so just keeping in mind, I'm sure you hear other readers say this is not sex specific, right? So I already said you've got that an internal masculine and feminine in everyone, regardless of one. So how this might look is it being inauthentic or being overly conscious and ignoring what's going on in your subconscious, always being in the light, not dealing with one's shadow. Or just being overly expressive in yang energy, like the go-get-em, competition, build without any mediating that in a cooperative way, in a feeling way, right? So that's all out of balance. Temperance came ringing. Now it's time to go off onto the new journey. So that's the moment in time we're in. We're in this moment of time of change. If people are getting the call, right? Spirit's called for the yang. For those of you who are operating in full yang energy, for those who identify as divine masculine, so you could be a feminine who identifies as a divine masculine. You could be a man. I'm sorry, not a feminine, a woman. You could be a man who doesn't identify with this, right? So sex aside, it's your gender. Do you align with those traits? For the large part, right? But then again, internally we have all of this, and then collectively in our society, right? Too much patriarchal, hyper-masculine leadership to the to the detriment of the yin energies, right? Not having enough cooperation. We see this with all of this aggressive, sort of masculine energy, as opposed to things that are much more cooperative and collective. Speaking of cooperative and collective, what is going on for our divine feminine, for the yin energy? In the recent past, what's going on, Spirit, for our yin? We've got here Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, wanting a new start. Okay, and in the present situation, what has our, yeah, okay, it's interesting. Eight of Swords. All right, block mindset. So, not right. So the energies are a little different, right? So there's like a major transformation going on for the Yang energy because we've got our major arcana cards, minor arcana cards here on the inside. Smaller kind of transitions, not really overhauling a lot going on, at least not on the surface. There could be underneath because, again, we'll need to clarify. And this is the Yin energy. But in the past, like, hey, I want a new start. I want something more solid. And, you know, a pentacle is a very grounded, not emotional, not a feelings kind of thing, but maybe something a little more grounded as a start. Eight of Swords. Maybe some trouble getting that new start, right? Because of the mind, what's going on in one's head, one's beliefs being locked in one's head. And also possibly getting the same call from the Chi energy, right? Time to step into one's leadership, to become the wise leader, but maybe a belief system that is keeping one trapped from stepping into that leadership. What is going on with your beliefs around who you are? Are you worthy of this? Do you Yin, do you Divine Feminines have something to share? Or are you supposed to constantly just be hanging out underneath the Yang energy, right? Because there is a balance. It's not that the Yin energy is to dominate or the Yang energy is to dominate. They're to be in balance and they each have something to contribute. But I think in many ways, right, the unhealthy, the imbalanced relationship is where our Yin energy is either expressing itself as Yang, right? Women who are in that position of being very masculine and they think that's how leadership is in a Yang way and not doing it in a feminine way, or that they don't belong in leadership, right? A woman's place is behind a man, or then, you know, there's a sort of, it could be that, it could also be I'm not worthy. Like that's definitely the kind of vibe I'm picking up. I don't know if I can do this. Lack of self-confidence possibly could be behind there. All right, let's go ahead and get one card here on that Chi energy under Wise Leader. Yep, this is what Spirit is bringing in, right? Love is trying to balance out a new start, new passion, a new sort of passion that comes into leadership, and that passion being very much rooted, right? That flame that our Wise Leader is carrying here, being one that is rooted in Yin energy. So bringing in a balance. Let's go ahead and clarify. So I'm going to start with the Yang energies for the Temperance card. I'm going to get started here. Temperance. We've got the Three of Cups, the Chariot, and the Three of Swords. Now, and just a reminder on this deck, this one is the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. So I just wanted to let you know which decks I'm using. So in the recent past, moving on, right? Like, so in the middle of this wounded heart, and this Three of Cups, I feel like with the 2 3s, this feels to me like a lot of third party manipulative kind of energy. The Chariot sitting right in the middle of like moving on from situations that, you know, moving on from past hurt, maybe not being in balance in your relationships, in your engagements, having multiple partners, maybe too much partying, too much fun, nothing really solid. But moving on from that, right? Making that decision in order to heal this Three of Swords. In the present moment, we have the Fool for our Clarify the Fool for our yang. We've got the Sun. Woo, happy times today. This is awesome. Bright energy. Yes. 9 of Cups. Wow. Ace of Cups. All right. So deciding to take a leap of faith towards something you really want that brings you lots of joy and happiness and is rooted in love. Some wish that the yang has always had and wanted to do, some dream, some passion, whether that's a person or career or an adventure, something that you've held back for a long time that is really rooted in your heart, right? That's that yin energy. Really rooted in your passion. You're going to take that leap of faith today and be jumping right on in head first, just taking that leap of faith, just jumping in there and in your bliss. Just like I'm going for it. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to hold on and what other people think. I'm kind of always keeping my options open. I'm moving straight ahead, right into my wish. Right, the yang is going right for their wish, driving right on into it, transforming that 3 of Swords into an Ace of Cups, and really just finding joy and happiness. All right, that's exciting today. What about our yin? How are you moving into letting your internal light shine? I think a lot of this wise leader, especially after looking at that yang energy, is like letting your light shine, that light from inside of you. Where does your light come out? Because when your light comes out and you shine and you lead for others, that is you being in balance because you are stepping into your power. I'm a little concerned though, because on the yin side, I'm not concerned, but after seeing all this bright energy, the first thing, I kind of look down and see this like, I'm trapped kind of energy popping off the yin in the current moment. All right, so our divine feminine, where do you got here? Clarify, please, the Ace of Pentacles. Clarify, please, the Ace of Pentacles. Clarification. All right, we've got 6 of Cups in that past. 4 of Wands and King of Swords. So for the divine feminine, I can't really see this too much. Really getting clear with this King of Swords, right? Really being clear on what you want, wanting to move ahead and go for what you want, having done a lot of healing work, particularly around childhood wounds, right? Healing child wounds, which brings in you that clarity, and then opens up this opportunity, right? Like, okay, and because of all that work, I'm ready. I'm ready for something solid, grounded in my life, right? I'm ready to be maybe more open and more vulnerable. With the healing, it makes me think that there might have been a lot of trust issues, holding back your true feelings, closing your light down because maybe you were told, your light shouldn't shine. Something like that, but you're just ready to like get up, be King of Swords, very logical truth. I know what I want. I'm going for it. In the present moment, though, we're hitting a wall. Somehow you're tied up. We've got 4 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the Lovers. Oh, okay. Which looks fantastic underneath. So on the surface, what's happening is maybe a lot of struggling with being able to show your feelings, because inside there's lots of love going on, right? Wanting to create something solid. Oops. Wanting that solid connection and love with the Knight of Pentacles. This is definitely in line with that Ace of Pentacles that you were going for. 4 of Wands is like getting that stability with your passion. So being able to create something new that isn't hurtful and toxic. Like definitely you've healed any toxic patterns and you're moving into a place of love. So the 8 of Swords is a little bit like maybe things are too good to be true, right? That's what this seems to me, because you definitely have our masculine is like opening up to their feelings. The feminine is healing, her hurts and internal stuff. And so the idea is, right, step into that leadership now, our feminine. We need that feminine leadership to come forward. It's there. You want to show it, but there's some piece of this that you're holding back. All right, let's have a look here and see what's going on for the Chi. Let's go ahead and clarify the Ace of Wands and see what's going on behind this. Ace of Wands that the universe is trying to bring in. Two of Swords, needing to get clear. Oh, Justice. Yes, this balancing. And then King of Pentacles. Okay, that's pretty clear to me. What is happening is a total, universe is like totally bringing balance to this. Masculine or yang forms of the family, this dominant father, who is the earner, who is in leadership. This is being balanced out. It is out of balance. It is, it feels very much to me what's being balanced is toxic masculinity. It's going to the wayside. This is what the universe is up to, getting rid of it. It's going to blow it up. Remember the name of the channel, Judgment Day. This is what's coming. Okay, so it's time for our divine feminines to rise up. Our goddesses, the return of the goddess. And it is time for our masculines to find their hearts again, right? Find your passion. It isn't all calculated and rational. It isn't about doing, whatever you can without regard to other people, right? It is incorporating that yin, doing things collectively. Not everything is a competition. We live in a society, right? So we have to get along. And then finding the opening, because, there's always these sort of battle of the sexes, if you will. But the rules of society push femininity to perform in a particular way, and masculinity. That is, masculinity needs to be violent. Femininity needs to be submissive. That's the social construct that's being kaboomed, right? Justice. Justice is coming in from who? The universe. Chi. God. Justice. It's on its way. Time to balance out. What word's being balanced out today? Understandings of family, order, corporate America, however this gets expressed, right? Our King of Pentacles, who has all of the goodies? Who's sitting in leadership? What expressions of success, right? Gold and all of the things that were extracted with colonization. No, this form of success, this form of leadership is being blown up. And what are we getting? We're getting something new, something fresh with this Ace of Wands, a new kind of passion, a new kind of light from a new kind of leader. You guys out there watching me. You guys. All right, I'm going to do two more things, and then that's going to be it for this reading, and then I'm going to move on to the extended, and we'll look at what's happening in the future. But to close out this reading, I'm going to get some advice from our animal spirits. So what animal spirits, because I always follow the advice. I always look around. In fact, it's a woodpecker I need to go look up. I have a woodpecker taking out a tree in the back, and for 3 days, the woodpecker has graced me with her peck, and I am not heeding her calls. I haven't looked it up. But for a very long time, every time I see animals, I want to know what the message is, right? Animals are messengers. They're helpers to humans. We may believe, right, through this masculine, historically yang expression, low vibration, toxic expression of man's dominance over nature. Absolutely not. We are to live in harmony. And so animals are here, animal spirits come along to help us navigate our spaces, navigate our journey. They share this planet with us, and they are wise spirits. And so I like to incorporate their wisdom into our daily reading. All right, so who's with us today on March 3rd? Which animal spirit? I'm using the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. So we're going to read from that. So what do we have? Oh, yeah. I've been seeing this a lot. I was watching some readings, and this just kept the wolf. Like every time I turned that around, it was like the wolf. So I like to watch other tarot card readers, of course, like I think everybody does. And I kept seeing, like, there was like so many. I was doing these pick a cards, and every time I get in one, there'd be like a wolf. And I kept thinking, I bet there's a message for me for the wolf, and here's the wolf. So absolutely, like I said, pay attention to the symbology. So wolf is a 17 card, 8, bringing in balance. If you add 1 and 7, you get 8. 17 in the tarot. 17 in the tarot deck. I can't remember. Let's see. I think it's 15 is the devil. 16. Now I'm like thinking about this. I'm like, what's 17 in the tarot deck? I'm gonna peek. Oh, here we go. 19 is the sun. My memory's so bad. 18 is the moon, the star. It's the same number as the star. Yeah, I don't know. Something was telling me 17, pay attention to number 17. 17 is the star. And then this one, it's the wolf in this oracle card. It's on the tarot deck. So here, of course, the wolf is about authenticity. That's what I just have saying, of course, because in reading this, it is the wolf energy is about authenticity. Discover who you really are by revealing your authenticity. This is the energy that the chi, that God, that love, the divine wants to bring in, that spirit, the universe is bringing in. It's time for you to step into your power, to know who you are. That time has come. Judgment Day. This is always the best way. We all resonate a frequency. So if you are pretending to be someone you are not, you will keep attracting people with whom you do not resonate. How many of us are fitting in? Well, I've got to do this because if I don't, I can't get a job, and yet I can't figure out why I'm so miserable all the time, because you're not playing to who you are. You're playing to an idea that someone else gave you about who you are, what you should be doing, but not who you are. It is necessary to negotiate a position with others sometimes. This is what I'm saying. And there should be no anxiety about differences in opinion. Yeah. So the wolf is asking you to be your own wolf. You know, the wolf stands on their own. The wolf knows who they are. The wolf is not afraid to be seen and to see. The wolf comes to you for you to step into your authentic selves. For our feminine, our yin energy, you don't have to hide anymore. It's not too good. It's okay. I know you've been through it. I know you've been through it. You've healed. You've got a lot of love to give and a lot of ideas, right? Grounded ideas about what to build and how to do this. You know, abundance, family, order, leadership. It's time. It's time to stand up. And for our yang energy, right? To heal this wounded heart, you need to do what you love. Take that leap of faith the Fool card gives you to be different, to find your heart, to balance that out, it's not always about competition. It's not at all about competition. That's dominance and subordination. That's not balance. Someone has to be on top and someone has to be on bottom. It's about coexistence and cooperation, about bringing out the best inside of ourselves, not being all emotional or all repressed. And right now what's going on for today's energy is trying to deal with the repression of our emotions and our feelings. Step into your authenticity. All right, last card for this part of the reading, and then I'll move on to the extended, is the angel card, the guidance from your healing. For this, I'm using the Healing with Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. So this book's been quite worn. I've had this deck for a long time. So what advice do we have from our healing angels as we move through this journey? Meditation. This is interesting. Going within. Right, and I think meditation is particularly important, an important skill to keep, to do. And whether you meditate, I like to write and think, so I journal. Sometimes I go for walks. I go to the beach. I live near the beach, so I go for a walk on the beach, and I get ideas and clarity. I'll take a trail. Or you can just sit. Sometimes you sit. I fall asleep if I I do that. Sometimes I'll do a guided meditation, but a lot of times it's just, for me, it's writing. But there's all different ways you can meditate. But the idea is getting into your soul. Meditation is quieting the mind, the noise of the mind that tells you, oh, I gotta go do this, and I've got this shopping list, and I got these things to do, and did I pay that bill, and all this stuff. The noise. Call noise. It's a bunch of noise. It's always there. It's always running. It's tapped into the collective consciousness somewhere, doing some noise. I'm not even sure it is. I think it's just in our own head. I'm not really sure. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know exactly, but I know there's noise. Meditation allows you to quiet that mind noise and hear your heart. You're trying to find your heart. What's your heart's desires? What's your light? What's your passion? Who are you? That's what Wolf asked you. Who are you really? Like a wolf in sheep's clothing just came to mind. And that's like a negative thing, but I think in this case is a positive thing. Y'all been running around like sheep, but inside is a wolf waiting to pop out. Find your inner wolf. Who are you? It's time to be the wise leader. It's time to be the beacon for others. No more sheep. It's time for the wolf to come out. It's deep and powerful, but let's hear about more of what the angels have to say on meditation. I'm going to go ahead and read that one. Love it. Wolf in sheep's clothing. That's going to be the name of this one. Meditation. Meditation is very important for you right now. Enjoy practicing it often. A quiet mind hears the voice of angels more easily. This card is your angel's way of asking you to quiet your mind so that your angelic communications are loud and clear. You all are getting messages. All of you are getting messages. You are all leaders. Again, if you found your way to Judgment Day and me, you're a leader. There are other readers out there you may find too for your guidance. I know I follow lots of people. I already told you about Mary Jo there on Soulful Revolution TV, great mentor of mine. First thing in the morning, spend at least 5 minutes with your eyes closed. Breathe deeply 3 or 4 times. Ask your angels a question, then listen as intently as you would to a dear friend. Don't strain to listen. If you chase the answer, it will evade you. So just relax. Just be. Instead, continue to breathe in and out deeply and allow yourself to relax. Tell yourself that receiving angelic communication is natural for you and that it is actually an everyday experience. The more you relax your mind, the easier it is for you to hear the answer. You know who you are. You just need to be reminded. Your angels are there talking to you, trying to tell you. That is another tool I use. I forgot about that one. Every morning, I love my morning time. My daughter tries to bother me, but I'm like, don't get me in the morning because I'm getting messages. Messages coming in. Just as you start to wake up, try to be still and see what you bring forth from you. Lately, I've been getting a lot of songs, just very faint songs. Look up those song lyrics. There's a message in the songs. What are some other things with the meditation? But yeah, I'm definitely getting those messages. You're getting them too. It's time. It's the awakening, right? That's what Judgment Day is. It's the time we all wake up. The great awakening that all of the spiritualists have been talking about. It's time. Remember who you are. The wolf in sheep's clothing. All right, affirmation card, and then I'm going to move on to the extended. That just flew out. These are, I found these at Five Below, little affirmation cards, and they are made by a company called Kalen, made in China. So the affirmation for today: nothing will stop me from accomplishing my goals. Nothing will stand in the way of my happiness. Okay? You've been given the green light to go ahead and do you. So that's your reading. If you're interested in going into what to expect for the future, additional future advice from the ancestors, what communication and messages are coming from your soul, that will continue in the extended reading in the description box below. Otherwise, have a good day and happy Thursday. Remember, be true to you.